Hi, and welcome to Spirit Call. Today, I would like to talk about the numerology for 2025 and how it relates to the tarot and everything that you need to know as we enter into this new energy. So, 2025 is going to be a 9 year. You take the digits of 2025, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9, and that is where the 9 comes from. So it's a 9 universal year. I then take that 9 and apply it to the tarot, and we get the Hermit. So in 2025, we're all going to be experiencing the lessons and themes connected to the 9 and the Hermit energy. Now, I am personally coming out of, or wrapping up rather, my 9 personal year. So I know all about this energy. And then I get to do it again in 2025 with the collective or universal energy. So I think I already kind of know where this is going to go, but let me just generally tell you about the 9 and about what we can expect in 2025. So the number 9 is very much about completion and tying up loose ends. It's a year where we're all going to be feeling the urge to kind of look at what's going on in our lives and what maybe needs to be tied up. What over the last 9 years did you start, or did you kind of start giving energy to, or become aware of, that needs to be kind of put in its place so that you can start fresh in 2026. So there's a tying up of loose ends. And I see this coming in on a personal level in the 9 year. It's a lot about like healing work. I see this being a lot of people needing to go within to look at, what maybe did I experience over the last 9 years, or even from the past, from childhood, that needs to be addressed, healed, put together, identified perhaps, and then released, or set the intention to understand the workings of it, the effect that it's had on you, and how it has changed you and made you who you are today, and how you can honor that process for yourself to really make the most of the lessons and themes and things that you've learned up to date in your life. So I see it as maybe revisiting a childhood traumas, or healing work around that, things that need to be identified and recognized for what they are. So it could be on a personal level connected to, let's say, I tend to attract certain situations, and then coming to the conclusion or the awareness that, oh, that might be because of this past wound. And so you're kind of tying up those loose ends, right? Maybe you'll still always have that wound, but you will be able to better understand what you do and why you do it, because you're bringing that awareness and kind of tying it up, right? So maybe some kind of therapy. It's a big soul searching year. The 9, the Hermit energy, is very much about going within and searching for the answers that only come to you through doing that process of looking inside of yourself and not looking outside for validation or confirmation of why you feel the way you feel, although a therapist might help. A lot of it is going to come from what you discover as you go within to ask yourself these questions, right? What do I need to let go of? What did I start many years ago that I'm kind of still working on or still recreating each day when I wake up? But is there an aspect of this that isn't working? So that brings me to my next point. I think a lot of people in 2025 are going to be looking for new ways of doing what they have to do in life that really minimize the stress, the strain, the overworking, the burnout, because we're all going to be burnt out. Many of us are burnt out after the high energy 8 year. And I just want to say this affects each of us differently based on our personal year, numerology. But in general, the nine energy is about, okay, let's find a new way of doing this so that we don't feel burnt out and exhausted, and we can really focus on what matters in life. So part of the soul searching is going to be about going within and identifying for you what's most important. What are you doing with your precious time and energy in this life, and how can you make more room for that? And so what do you need to let go of or change or find a new process for so that you can have more time for those things? Many people are going to feel that in 2025, things just don't vibe the same. That things seem to just feel a little bit off or a little bit like can't quite put your finger on it, but you know that something's changing and something is not quite the same. And so, as each of us individually go through the process of feeling that and becoming aware of where in our lives the vibe is sort of shifting, it can affect relationships. I find one of the biggest things that stand out in that area is people tend to not vibe or gel or fit with their social groups, with perhaps long-standing friendships the same way anymore. And it's almost an overnight feeling. So many of you will feel like you have to let people go. And this goes back to that healing work that you might have become somebody because of a past experience, and the people that you attracted into your life during that phase of maybe adapting or becoming somebody as a result of something taught you how to be in friendships and relationships. And in the 9 year, we often start to see that the way we're acting, the dynamics that are created within these friendships are just not what is best for us. And so you might see the role that you're playing in the friendships and start to rein it in and start to change that dynamic. And so as you do that, you might see that people disappear from your life. You might see that friends that you thought you'd have forever start to say things like, I don't recognize you. What's going on with you? You're not yourself anymore. You're changing. And it's a bit of a painful part of the 9 year and the Hermit energy, because it can bring up feelings of loneliness, feeling alone, feeling a little bit isolated, a little bit hermity, where you are kind of like, I just need some alone time. I need to figure this out for myself. I need to go within and search for the parts of me that I have lost along the way over the past 9 years. So as we go within, we begin to reclaim those lost parts of ourselves. And I think in 2025, a lot of people are going to be just wanting to be authentically themselves, which might look really weird. There might be a lot of weird behavior, or you might find yourself saying, I just don't understand that person anymore, or I don't get where they're coming from and why they're making the decisions they're making, which is true for any year, right? But you might find that people are acting that way towards you when you are just trying to be authentically yourself. So don't be afraid to break the mold a little bit, be yourself, be weird, do your thing, because it's what's going to help you identify what isn't working and what is, and what you want to add for 2026 when we begin a new cycle. 2026 is going to be a 1 year. So we want to let go in 2025 of all of the things that are in the way of having that fresh start in 2026. And it doesn't mean that you can't begin new things in 2025. It doesn't mean that we all have to wait until 2026. Again, because you're each going to have your own personal numerology, which will be stronger than this universal or collective energy anyway. But the way that the two interact is going to be different for everybody. But again, it's about tying up loose ends and letting go of the things that no longer serve you, and identifying those things by going within, soul searching, asking yourself questions like, why am I the way I am? Who am I? And how did I become this person? And is this the person I want to continue to be in the future? Is there something that I'm doing, old habits, old ways of living, dynamics? Are there relationships, friendships? Is there work that I need to change? Do I need to change something about how I show up in work and my purpose? And how can I tweak things so that things are more enjoyable? Because ultimately, the point of all of this is that you're having more fun, that you're feeling more fulfilled and tapping into whatever purposeful work means to you. It doesn't have to be your job, but it can be that thing that you feel drawn to create or be a part of in life that is just letting you be yourself and helps you to feel connected to a higher purpose. So the Hermit year is very much about kind of going off into the fog to search for what that is. And that is the last point I want to bring up that can be really uncomfortable about the Hermit energy, is that we can't always see 10 steps ahead. Often we can only see the next step in this energy. And so a few weeks ago, I was out walking and it was a very foggy morning. And so as I was walking down the country road, no cars, nothing, just me, the road, and the fog and the forest, I noticed that the further ahead I walked, what felt like I was walking into the fog that was up ahead, when I would get there, the fog would still be up ahead and behind me. And so it really reminded me of the Hermit energy and how you have to keep walking through the fog or towards the fog. And then when you get to that point, you'll know what's happening there. But then, unfortunately, we have to surrender to the fact that there's probably going to be more fog up ahead until you've walked through all of it. So there is this kind of one step at a time energy with the Hermit. And so it's like, okay, I'll walk to the next stage, and when I get there, I'll know what I'm supposed to do when I'm there, and then that's going to bring about the next question or the next phase or the next step. And so then I'll just go there, right? We don't have this full view of we're going to do this and this and this and this and this, and that's going to get us here, which we all kind of want. We like it when things make sense. We know where we're going. We have the clarity and we can just do what we need to do. In the 9 year, it doesn't go that way, especially your 9 personal year. It's one step at a time. You'll know what's happening there when you get there, and try to embrace the fog, let it wrap around you and hold you, and know that it is very important. It is helping you to see what you need to see, eliminate what needs to go from your life, and get ready for the new energy that's going to be coming in after we get through 2025. So I hope you found this helpful. If you would like to take this a little bit further and get more personal about the 2025 energy and how it relates to you and your personal numerology connected to the tarot, you can order your 2025 forecast numerology and tarot reading through my website, jennyjeranis.com. I only have limited quantities available because I only have so much time to do these readings. So you can order it there through my website, submit your date of birth. That helps me to calculate your personal number. And then I will be delivering those readings on or before January 13th, 2025. You can also book a private reading with me through my website, jennyjeranis.com. If there are no dates available, just add your name to the wait list and I'll send you a link when you can book your personal reading. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Bye for now.